Hi, superheroes. My name's Mahony. I'm the creator of this group, Spiritual Superheroes. So I've received messages throughout these wee hours of the morning, and it seems that today's theme is going to be learning. Specifically, the importance that learning has in connection with our spiritual growth. Now, firstly, I'd like to show you all yet another card that I have picked. I will, I don't know if, there it is, the Lotus Throne. Now, the Lotus Throne, it says, the same lotus wisdom that enlightens beloved Kuan Yin and all spiritual masters is the very same lotus light that your own heart, that's within your own heart, beloved. It can take great courage to trust your own inner light to ascend the throne of your own inner spiritual authority, especially if the light of others around you seems more powerful than your own. You are being asked to trust this inner guidance above all others now. Have faith in your own heart. Know that you are divine. Hi, Robin. There are times on the path that we can greatly benefit from assistance from others. In fact, these times are almost always. A true spiritual master, teacher, guru, guide, or healer has the same role: to connect you with conscious awareness to your own inner light so that you may come to realize the spiritual power, authority, and beauty that you are in truth is the same power, authority, and beauty that you may see and honor in them. Sometimes we might need an external guide to help us make that connection. Sometimes we are closer to our own divine wisdom than we consciously realize, and yet we fall into habits of believing that others may know more of what is good or true for us than we do ourselves. Sometimes, out of habit and conditioning, it is just easier to see the divine light in others than within our own heart. This oracle has come to you to guide you and to trust that your own inner teacher is growing stronger, that you have more spiritual wisdom than you may have previously acknowledged, and that you will benefit greatly from heeding your own heart's guidance at this time. You are guided here to carefully discern the level of influence that others may be having over you. In your admirable willingness to open, to learn, and to grow, you are wise not to surrender your discernment. No matter how wise or powerful a teacher might be, it is wiser and more powerful still to always test what they seek to say to you by sitting with it in your own heart. Does all guidance you have been following feel true to your heart? At this time, the inner teacher, the guru within all, the goddess light of Kuan Yin in your own heart is speaking to you, urging you to trust your own divine nature more deeply than ever before. You are being asked to ascend to the lotus throne of your own divine soul. Trust your courage, beloved. Your journey is taking you into spiritual maturity, and you will need to acknowledge that you have spiritual authority within your own heart. Yes, you can learn from others, but always honor your inner teacher, as this is your own unconditionally loving and flawless guide, the part of you that is pure, divine wisdom, always has been and always will be. So, with that, learning is the topic of the day. Isn't that fantastic? So, basically, now what I will say about learning in connection with our own spiritual growth, well, learning in connection with our own spiritual growth is basically essential. Everyday life will bring new experiences, and with those experiences, there is always some sort of lesson to be learned. In order to grow spiritually, we don't just have to embrace and learn about spiritual things like, for example, meditation, but to embrace all forms of learning, like something as simple as reading a book, or even going out and experiencing life in general. So also appreciating the little things with much gratitude. Quite often within those little things, the things that we might not think are so big at the time may in some way have a hidden lesson that at those times they may not be so clear, but lessons quite often when we experience something in life, the lesson in connection with it does not become clear until later on. So often these tiny lessons that I'm speaking of, we do think these things are tiny at the time, but when the lesson reveals itself, it is quite often something that will give us a huge result. So we must keep our eyes and ears open for every lesson in life, no matter how big or small that lesson is. Now, I've always said to learn is to grow, and to grow is to learn. That is one of my little nuggets of wisdom. Sometimes life will hand us things that we might not think are so fantastic, and we will often wonder why these things are happening to us. But again, even though things at times might not be fantastic, within those things also are more lessons. The lesson I've learned here is that sometimes we must be at our weakest for our strengths to reveal themselves, because without weakness or vulnerability, we would not know what strength is, because it's sort of one of those situations where you can't really have one without the other. They sort of bounce off each other. Which leads full circle back to learning. Learning your weaknesses and turning those weaknesses into your strengths. That's basically how it works. We are superheroes, I've said many times, not in the fancy movie sense, but as human beings with compassion and empathy and all those other superpowers that we have. Human beings do have the ability to make a difference in the world. So, on the other hand, teaching can be quite a good thing too, for our spiritual growth, because on the flip side of learning, everyone in the world as human beings has something unique to offer. So we all have a lot as human beings to learn from each other. So when someone has something unique to offer, we have to then be willing to lend the ears, because quite often, sometimes even we can stumble upon things by mistake. We might be going through something, and someone might offer us a little bit of advice or knowledge about something that really speaks to us, not knowing what we've been or going through, and that can help. So we have to also be willing to listen. So yeah, learning. learning new things for me every day is something that I actually is one of my day to day goals that I have set myself since probably my early 20s, where I have made a decision with myself to learn at least one new thing every day. And since my early 20s, I have stuck to that plan. And I think it works, even if it's something simple. Um, yeah, learning one new thing every day helps also with the um, spiritual growth. Um, so the comments. A Course in Miracles says that we teach what we need to learn. Yes, we teach what we need to learn. Um, well, that also sort of ties in with the other thing that I've always said is that when we ask a question, um, I've always thought that subconsciously we must know the answer because if we didn't subconsciously know the answer, how would we know what question to ask? That's just something to ponder. I have often asked myself that question. So, yeah, miracles can happen when we can teach and with that learn. It's all about um, learning, basically, as humans, learning and growing together as human beings. We're all, you know, in life together, and um, it's up to us as human beings to live harmoniously and help each other grow. That's how it should be. So, yeah, that was basically what I had to say. Um, so, yeah, learning is a good thing for our souls, basically. And if we can learn one new thing every day, no matter how big or small it is, I think we are winning, like the superheroes that we are. Because, like I say, we're all superheroes. And that's basically how it is. So, yeah. Um, has anyone got anything else to add? Um, so, yeah. Well, basically that's all I wanted to say about learning. So yeah, keep learning, keep growing, keep striving to be the best superhero that you all can be. So, peace, love, and unity. It's great to see so many teachers out there. Yes, it is quite a good thing to see so many teachers, and even I think a good thing is to have teachers like ourselves that are willing to bounce ideas off each other and learn from each other, because even a teacher can sometimes learn things. Teachers might be teachers, but they can still learn as well. Everyone has something to learn, and everyone has something to teach as the unique individuals we are. So, yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. I won't stay on for too much longer. But yeah, keep learning, keep growing, keep being the best you that you can be. And yeah, peace, love, and unity.